I think that if one is really a principled Zionist, one should be in favor of a Palestinian state. Because if you really believe in the possibility of ethnic self-determination, let's put aside the question of whether the Palestinians are a people or not, just like we should put aside the question of whether the Jews are a people or not. It's not the same thing. There is an interesting academic argument to be had about the Palestinians, but at this point, they see themselves as a people, the world sees them as the people, that perception is not going away. So let's not have the academic argument anymore. Let's just accept reality for what it is and say, therefore, if you believe that the Jews have a right to self-determination because that's their homeland and ethnicities thrive when they are on their natural homeland and they guide their own futures, my belief in a Palestinian state stems not from large-heartedness, it stems from my Zionism. I think it's good for Israel, first of all, to be at peace with its neighbors, and I think it's bad for Israel to subdue another population, no matter how benignly it might try or not try to do it. But I also really think that the principles that make Zionism legit make Palestinian self-determination legit. We just have to get to a point where the Palestinians want a state more than they want the Jews not to have a state. When we get to that point, we're going to have a different situation.
So that's a good segue to another question from the audience. Do you believe there are any potential Palestinian leaders that truly want and will pursue peace?
Yeah, there are. Ali Abu Awad is one of them. You've never heard of him. But you should find him. He's on Facebook, of course, and he's on Twitter. He's an amazing guy. He spent a lot of time in Israeli jail, and his brother was killed by Israeli troops. The Israeli army and his family have different narratives of how that happened, but nobody denies that his brother was shot by Israeli troops. His mother was in Israeli jail. There's a family with a long history of they're the Jabotinskis of the Palestinian side. You know, they're the underground of the Palestinian side. They are the hardcore. And he was in jail at a certain point and began to, I forget what the exact circumstances were, he told me, but I've forgotten already, but something happened and he met the parents of suicide bomber victims who cried. And he said to me, I never imagined a Jew crying. And he said something just changed. He said he saw a Jew cry, and all of a sudden he recognized, all right, we got to do something different here. And he eventually got out of jail, and he lives just south of Jerusalem, actually just inside Gush Etzion. And what they do is they do all this cooperative educational stuff with Arab kids and with the children of settlers. Not my, westernized, they call them, Zionist light kids. Hardcore settlers, the real settlers, the guys whose parents carry M16s. And they do stuff with them. They have kindergartens and they have summer camps and they have all kinds of stuff. He's saying it's going to be ground up. Now, there are people like Ali Abu Awad who are out there. He's an amazing guy, and he's actually really interested in meeting people like you, both, quite frankly, because he needs support and also because he wants to tell you his story and he wants to make it clear that there are Palestinians like that. The problem is that they don't get very high in the Palestinian political echelons, and the higher they get, the more in danger their lives are. So the Palestinians are very happy for him to plant trees, which is actually what he does. He plants trees a lot, and they build forests together with Jewish and Palestinian kids, which is actually very moving. It's really unbelievable. We were there actually the last time on Pesach, and we brought some Canadian friends of ours with us, and it was just like, it's an unbelievable way to celebrate the Festival of Freedom by going to hear this guy. It's just unbelievable.